My name is Chava Tanoli, and I would like to present to you my thesis presentation, Le Village Bohème. The reason why I picked this project was because I was very interested in the era of feminine rights, gay rights, political movements, activism, and music from 1960 to 1970 that happened in New York versus the Haight-Ashbury, which Jack Kerouac and Allen Ginsberg later moved to. I was very much interested in what was going on in the East Coast. My mother and I were part of, me as a small toddler, part of ACT UP in the 80s. I was very enthusiastic to understand the New York movement as I am from the East Coast. That being said, I would like to present to you what I have done. So I have divided up, I've actually made my sitemap smaller, divided up it into 6 different areas. Legend, which is the main page. The legend is going to be a videotape based on interviews that I have started conducting with individuals like Tree, who was there during the Stonewall Inn riots. If you haven't heard of it before, it was one of the first political movements of the Stonewall gay movements. I have stories from McSorley's, so to speak, about women's movements and the right to have a beer, so to speak. And as well as people who have played with Cafe Wha and have also written and spoke during the Village Vanguard years. The map I will show you in a minute. People, which I can show you now. So people I have devised between musicians, artists, writers, and political activists. I have done some very interesting jQuery scripting to present that, and this needs a lot more visual design, of course, but introductory into a page. Barbra Streisand, for example, who found her fame at the Lion, and currently, right now, the Lion is a very expensive restaurant, which is like a $30, $40 plate diner. But it's where Barbra Streisand, who wanted to just be an actor, so to speak, an actress, and we can all remember her from Prince of Tides, for example, became a musician. Here she dropped her name from Barbara. She dropped the A out of her name to Barbara. And that's how I'm presenting. And again, everything is very responsive. If we're moving down screen resolution size, you can see the rest of my screen. Moving out. And places and political movements. What was important, what was going on, things like that. And again, like I said, activism movements. This is during the time of the anti-Vietnam movement, during the time of feminist movement, during the time of the gay revolution movement. Very, very, very important time period. And this is the responsive design piece of this. I'm also devising out a timeline, and again, I'm working through my research to fill this period out, but I in fact did a jQuery movement that I would like to show. So you're moving through timepieces that has to be delved out, and this would be the navigation for that particular time period. So now I would like to show you what's going on with the map. So I'm working on a map piece which is going to pinpoint areas in the map, and Granite is going to dive into this. But instead of using a simple Google map, I'm actually designing something through TileMill and designing my own personalized map so that things are moving on my own timepiece, as well as being able to pinpoint, as I said before, different areas such as Cafe Wha such as the Stonewall Inn and Julius's. So you're looking at, where did Jimi Hendrix first play? That's Cafe Wall. Where did the Stonewall Inn riots happen? Obviously Stonewall. Where was the Sip-In, which is a huge historical event that happened 3 years, 3 months, and 6 days before the first riot? Where did Peter, Paul, and Mary start playing? Where did Bob Dylan, first perform Gertie's music folk festival? And where did he live? And ironically, I'm giving the presentation of where Bob Dylan actually did live in the early 1960s, which is actually my apartment at 161 West 4th Street. I found this place on Craigslist, never looked back, surprised, but you know what? As Bob Dylan would say, simple twist of fate. So to give more direction with where I'm going with my Drupal, so if you're going down and you are searching for a tour, and this is a very back end, and I apologize for this quick view as I'm going through it. So if you're looking for a tour, and this is going to be adjusted in the future, and I'm working through this, and I do apologize, but if you can see all these clickable buttons down here, I have pinpointed those on the map, and they will be adjusted that a user will be able to say, oh, I'm really interested in musicians. I'm really interested in political movements. I'm really interested in etc. And all of this will be clickable and presentable based on what they're searching in and what they're doing. And a lot of this is based on this map here. I can present a lot more visual design work and effort, but I think that just based on the fact that this has to be a lot of back-end design, this was definitely not a simple thing of doing, but really focusing on, as you can see, based on places and things, and a lot of research is being put into this. I think that the next steps that I have to be doing are going to be around a lot more research, figuring out, finding out how to do tours and site mapping, working around Tilemill, which is very interesting. It's not just Google mapping, it's a very complex program. And then really figuring out more information about who's interesting, like Dave Van Rock versus Jack Kerouac, Allen Ginsberg, and the such. And I hope you did enjoy my presentation, and take care. Bye.